Let's go through some diagnostics and troubleshooting with and when you have troubles with your iFarm and scale system. Most of the time when we have any issue with the iFarm, it's not the iFarm card itself, but it's actually an indication of a scale bar issue. This can be anything from a disconnected scale cable to loose wires in the junction box to mice damage in the cabling from the grain cart, to a damaged load cell that's shorting out or it's simply disconnected inside the cell itself. Some of the indications we get for a damaged scale system, there's usually about 3 different ones we see. One is a disconnected iFarm. Disconnected iFarms mean either the iFarm box is not powered up, so you can either remedy that by replacing the internal battery, making sure you have a 12-volt connection plugged in and it's active. Pins 1 and 2 is your 12-volt and ground, respectively. If it all has the power, the next step we would look at is to see if you actually have a scale bar issue. One thing to determine too is if you are connected to a device, make sure you select that you connect to a device. But this example, I just hit disconnect so that I could show you that dashed lines means disconnected. If you know you're trying to connect to a device but it can't find it, if a scale bar is shorted out, what happens is the iFarm goes into a protection mode. It senses that the load cells are shorted and it protects itself by keep rebooting over and over again until it sees the scale bar is not causing an issue. Simple way to check for that is just simply unplug your scale bar input and then try to connect again. So I'm going to go and I'm going to connect again. And you can see in a couple seconds, I'll see live weight. That tells me my iFarm is working. Anytime I see live numbers from the iFarm box, I know my iFarm unit is working properly. It's just getting bad input. So we're going to plug this cable back in. And if you have a scale bar or a scale system that's not connected to your iFarm, you're going to get a lot of large numbers that fluctuate wildly on the screen, as you can see here. So you might need to go through and clear out some of those bad transactions. Another indication is you can't hold 0. When you go start in the morning and you zero out your grain cart, if you keep on seeing the weight continually increase in weight, and you just keep on having to hit 0 all the time, that's an indication also that you have a scale bar issue, which we'll go in a later section for general scale bar diagnostics. Another thing that you see often is just a static 0. Static 0 is another indication that there is a wire that's shorted out in your system and it's crossing the links together inside the box. Once again, you can verify this by unplugging the scale bar. The simple answer is to determine if it's an iFarm issue or a scale issue, try to connect with this cable unplugged, and if you see live weight, the answer is you have a scale bar issue that you need to diagnose further.